Beloveds, today's video has a very sensitive content. Today, you're going to discover if you have been in a relationship with a narcissist. I'm going to go over 5 signs that the heartbreak that you have experienced happened because you were in that relationship. And it is just so important to know that. It is important to know that you were in a relationship with a narcissist, because unless you truly, deeply heal yourself, you will keep attracting narcissists, or possibly you're going to find most people uninteresting and unattractive. You might be keeping your guard down and not trusting yourself anymore, and not knowing who to trust and who not to trust. If you were in a relationship with a narcissist, it is very possible that the narcissist raped your soul and your heart, and in general, that you are disappointed in love, and that you don't trust people and feel that the world is a cruel place, and it is difficult for you to date, or difficult for you to open up your heart to love. And depriving yourself of love in this one precious life is a crime towards your own heart. So listen up, watch this video to the end. At the end of the video, I promise I'm going to tell you exactly what to do if you discover that you have connected your life, maybe for 3 months, for 6 months, maybe for several years, with a narcissist who actually was a predator, a wolf in sheep's clothing. My name is Luba Evans, and I am a love coach to thousands of people. This is the moment to like the video, or to subscribe, and to subscribe to our channel. If you like what I'm saying, or if you just find my energy empowering, or just you want to support this kind of work, because it turns out that 15% of the population in the United States of America, at least, are on the narcissistic spectrum, which means that they do carry narcissistic traits. Sign number 1 that you were in a relationship with a narcissist is this. It started like a sugar period. Maybe it even started in a way that you weren't even serious about this person. Maybe you even thought that this is something temporary or impossible, and you did not understand just how dangerous this relationship can be. When this person started showing huge signs of interest in you, this phase is often called love bombing. So here's how it goes. The narcissist has highly developed mirror neurons, which means that they can really connect with you in a way that they will be mimicking the way you are talking, the way you're breathing, the way you are even looking at them. And they're going to create this, you know how Spock in Star Trek could grok into someone and just telepathically kind of connect with them. So a narcissist is a skillful seducer. And usually the narcissist, whether it's a man or a woman, knows exactly what they're doing on a certain level in their subconscious mind. And the truth is, the narcissist is not there to come and have a happy life with you, or to really get to know you. They're there to get their narcissistic supply, which means possibly admiration from you, your energy, your resources, maybe even money, or you serving them in a certain way, maybe raising their children, or anything of this kind. More than anything, your love, your compassion, and your admiration. And the higher you are, the higher your status is, and the more energy and maybe even skill and of course compassion you have, the higher chance there is that you're going to be a very desirable victim for a narcissist. So it's just like Red Riding Hood, who was carrying empanadas, who was carrying food, a very giving little girl, to her grandmother, and then this wolf meets her, and the wolf somehow puts out this narcissistic fog, and somehow the Red Riding Hood meets him later on at the place of her grandmother, when he pretends that he is her grandmother, and he looks at her with this great unconditional love and admiration. And this is exactly what the narcissist is there to do, to basically eat you up and throw you out when you are not useful anymore. And the way they do it is just so irresistible. The way they do it in those moments, in those days, possibly, or those months, they mimic your light so professionally that you might feel that this is absolutely the best thing that you have ever experienced in your life. You might feel, maybe you felt that the oneness that you've experienced was absolutely divine, that this person really knew you, that this person really, really appreciated you, valued you, and connected to you. While what's happening to this chameleon, to this person who is there to get you, whether they even know it on the conscious level or not, what was really happening is that, beloved, they were just reflecting your light. And the love that you feel and that you felt, maybe that was in their eyes, is really just your own reflection. But they knew how to come in and how to open your vulnerable heart and how to get your guard down by telling you exactly what you want to hear. Because the first phase, when the narcissist comes in, they find out about you. What is it that you value? What is it that you believe in? What is it that you want to hear about yourself? That's why sometimes in the beginning, they ask you questions about your past. They ask you questions about your trauma. They ask you questions about what's important to you. And so this first phase feels incredibly euphoric, and it feels like this is real love. It feels almost like motherly love, or even the love of the grandmother, just like in the Red Riding Hood story. Unconditional love. It feels like they are truly, truly giving you energy and admiring you. And so this is that first phase. The first phase turns into the next phase, phase number 2, when they feel that, all right, this person started to trust me. And the next phase, they become very spontaneous, which means that if in the beginning everything seemed to be going so well, they were texting you and calling you and sending you tons of emojis and hearts and fire and maybe some other cute little things, and telling you things like, I cannot live without you, or you're the best thing that happened to me, or maybe telling you we are soulmates, or maybe telling you we are twin flames, or we are created for each other, or talking about past lives, or giving you all this future faking and some kind of amazing plans that will light you up. For example, we're going to travel the world together, or we'll have a family and children and dogs somewhere in the country, or we are going to become this power couple, or whatever it is that they know will light you up. During the second phase, when they feel that, okay, this prey is coming my way, what they start doing is that they start being more and more irregular. So sometimes they would send you a lot of texts, call you a lot, get you on video, meet with you, and then they would start disappearing. They would start getting hot and cold. They would start pulling away a little bit just to see what your reaction is going to be. Here is what's happening to your brain chemistry in that moment. What's happening is that You already are used to this euphoria that you're feeling from the oneness and the mirroring. And all of a sudden, the fear comes in. Oh my God, am I going to lose this? All of a sudden, all of your trauma comes in. Am I good enough? All of a sudden, the emptiness comes in because the narcissist has been filling that emptiness so much with all the admiration. And so you start really getting scared that you're going to lose this person. And you become a dog on a leash, basically. You're looking at your phone all the time, like in the old times when we had clock that was ticking. You might be even checking if the clock is working. You're waiting for them to contact you, and you just don't understand what is going on. And if you try asking them questions like what is happening, it is very possible that during that stage, the second stage, they're either going to start stonewalling you, which means that they're going to just be silent and not answer your direct questions, or they're going to be coming up with some kind of excuses. For example, they were at work, or for example, if they are in a different city, or God forbid, if they're married to somebody else, that this was the situation that they couldn't contact you. But the truth is, what they are doing is just lying to you. And what they're doing is they are starting to hold you hostage. You become this, you find yourself being this emotional object that is starting to lose it, because the only thing that becomes important is this message or this phone call or some kind of contact, or maybe if you were with the narcissist in the same physical space, that the narcissist will be reaching out to you, offering you that love, maybe hugging you, maybe more. And so you get hooked on that, and you get hooked on that high, you get hooked on that euphoria. But then what happens when they withdraw, when they deprive you of that feeling, you fall, and you fall so low, and you fall into this negative space. And maybe you were totally okay before this relationship, but you already forgot how it was. But now that you are in the negative space, it becomes very hard to occupy yourself with your previous hobbies or things that you used to like. And why is it hard? Because that interaction with the narcissist is just so intense, and it is so bright, and it is difficult to compare it to anything else. And so you start really craving that person, really, really craving. And the moment when that person comes back, you experience this incredible relief. And that chemical roller coaster is exactly what gets you hooked. It's exactly what makes you start losing your nervous system in some way. And that is exactly what makes you doubt yourself. Am I good enough? Am I lovable? Did I do something wrong? What did I do wrong to push this person away? And this is how they start, like really, really shaking the whole foundation of your personality, the whole foundation of who you are. And the more they do it, the weaker you become. And so this is the second stage. Possibly during this stage, you already stopped talking about this person. Maybe you are not sharing anything about this person with your friends because maybe you're already feeling a little bit ashamed that you are in this connection. And in this stage, the mind might be thinking, yeah, this person loves me. I remember all the admiration and all the words, and sometimes they are still giving them to me. They are telling me, I miss you so much, or I miss you lots and lots, or I miss you so strongly. And then at the same time, your heart already knows that it is not true. And your heart already knows what's coming. And what is coming is the weakening of your system and drainage of your resources. During the third stage, and this is something that might happen within 3 months, it might happen within 6 months. There are situations when it takes longer, of course, for this stage to happen. All of a sudden, out of the blue, one day, the narcissist starts to criticize you and devalue you. And it could start in a very subtle way, like, what's wrong with your face? Or what's wrong with your tone of voice? Or something like, you were angry at me. And then you start all of a sudden understanding that they really don't understand what's happening with you. And depending on how traumatized you were in your childhood or how codependent you are, you will, at this stage, you will either start to please the narcissist more and more, or if you are very healthy and your boundaries are strong and you really love yourself, then you are actually going to leave. Most people do not. It is very difficult to leave right away because the memory of the sugar period is so strong. It is so difficult to just let go of that. And then you start really doubting yourself deeper and deeper, and you start losing your looks. Sometimes you start losing your health. Sometimes you start putting in more and more, including services that you provide for the narcissist, and often even money. And you want to keep that person happy. You want that first stage to come back. You don't yet know that actually it is impossible for that first stage to come back. You still feel like, oh, maybe things are a little bit, at least, in your hands. You become really, really attentive to all the patterns, and you start thinking, okay, I did this, and this is how this person was. I did that, and they were loving. Maybe I should do more of this. Meanwhile, the reality is that a narcissist has many faces. And so the sign number 4 that you have been in a relationship with a narcissist is that it is difficult for you to put their character together out of different characters that they showed. You're going to start noticing that sometimes they feel like they're drunk with love, so happy, so much in oneness. And then sometimes you're just going to see this look without any light, this look full of ego and full of resentment. Sometimes you're just going to feel that this person next to you is empty. And the reality is, narcissists are empty. All that is happening is they're like an actor. They are putting on that face of a sheep, or that face of a light, or that face of love, or that face of unconditional motherly or grandmother love, or love of a lover. But it's just an act. Do they know that they're acting? Do they know that it is fake? Yes and no. Here we see those narcissists on the spectrum, malignant narcissists who've done it many times and who are pros in seduction. They might know what they're doing. They might know that, okay, let me just get this person, let me just get her, or let me just get him to really love me, and then I'm going to use this person until I'm done with this person. And actually, when I'm merging with this person in oneness, I'm experiencing so much high, I'm experiencing so much happiness. But then when I withdraw, I'm also going to experience a lot of pleasure, because then the narcissist feels like they just individuated, which means they just got free. And so that movement away from you is also pleasurable for the narcissist. The narcissist comes into the relationship not thinking necessarily deeply inside that this is a forever relationship. They come into the relationship subconsciously, kind of maybe knowing that they are going to leave at a certain point. And that is why it is so easy for them to give you all the compliments, to give you all the promises, because there is a part of them that does not believe it. And so it's very easy to be very admiring and to be flattering and to future fake and to give all those promises. Very easy when this person is not feeling responsible for those promises. Yeah, that's why that first stage is just so bright, because it's fake. And so the narcissist is going to take pleasure from merging and from separating, from being in oneness and from being on their own and from being free. Especially if they already drained all of your resources, received all of your love, and received the confirmation you fattened him up, you fattened her up, received the confirmation that they are lovable, they're cool. And if you are a person of a high status, that is even more food, even more supply for the narcissist. So if you're watching this video, you're a person, I want to compliment you. And I also want to, if you're still watching, that probably means you have been in a relationship with a narcissist. And first of all, I just want to tell you, my heart goes out to you. It truly is a soul rape and a heart rape. And it's almost like being mugged or being raped, but in an emotional sense. That behavior is completely criminal to come into a beautiful soul like you. Maybe you're an empath. You're probably a very giving and beautiful person. And so it is a crime in the spiritual worlds to come to a person like that and to deceive them and to take things from them and to break their heart. But you are a beautiful, wonderful person who is watching this video because you are ready to work on yourself, or maybe you already worked on yourself. You are getting education, you are getting empowered. The narcissist will never ask themselves, what's wrong with me? Or should I get help? Or, oh my God, all of my relationships are just turning into broken mirror pieces. Or I'm just unable to hold a relationship, or I lose interest in people so fast. So the narcissist doesn't think about it this way. The narcissist is just going and looking for the next supply. And so the next sign after the stage when they start criticizing you, they start to really discard you by withdrawing, by not responding to your messages, by disappearing and giving you silent treatments and giving you more lies and more gaslighting. So what is gaslighting? Gaslighting is when they question your reality, when you are saying things like, well, you said we're going to go here and there, and they're going to respond, when did I say that? That never happened. Or for example, if they told you before that they love you, or they told you before that they love you beyond, or they told you before that they're so afraid to lose you, they want to be with you forever. And if you bring that up, the narcissist is just going to be silent. They're not going to confirm that. And you're going to start feeling like maybe you're losing your mind. And you're going to start questioning your reality. And this phase is very, very dangerous because it weakens you even further and further and further. And then possibly the narcissist really starts pulling away. And one of the favorite methods is to deprive you of sex and sexual connection. Sexual connection with the narcissist actually can feel good in the beginning, because if you were attracted to a narcissist for a long time and you did not block the narcissist, you did not walk away early, that probably means that you have a tendency to be codependent, to be taking care of other people's feelings, to feel responsible for other people. And a codependent sexually is more turned on by getting the love that they need, or getting proof that another person loves them, or pleasing another person, rather than actually enjoying sexual intimacy through sensations and pleasure. And so if that is you, definitely keep watching this video to the very, very end. And so in the beginning, that sexual connection with the narcissist might still feel euphoric to you because it is proof that they love you. And it is a chance for you to make a difference. It's a chance for you to earn their love. And you might be feeling a lot of excitement and pleasure from that. But the reality is that sexual contact with a narcissist is not great. Narcissists are not great lovers because they are not there to love you. They are not there to really get to know you. If they are getting to know you, it is only to manipulate you into giving everything to them. And once they feel that you gave it all out, the rose gave its aroma, they got the first taste, for example, which is the best taste. And as a supply, it's not as interesting for them anymore. They are not interested to give you that love or that pleasure. They are not. Very often narcissists cannot even kiss because kissing is a truly intimate act that might provoke emotions. So a narcissist is a person whose empathy is very, very low. The only empathy that they experience is their own compassion towards their own self. And this is also something that you will be discovering when you try to bring up certain issues like your needs or ways in which you're walking on eggshells, or ways in which you're always waiting for them, or ways in which they just disregarded you. So the narcissist is not able to really feel empathy towards you. So what are they going to do? Most likely they're going to make you feel responsible for that. Most likely they're going to accuse you that you are crazy, hysterical, too sensitive, or you're just making things up. So all of those things lead to the final grand finale, which often is the narcissist completely weakening you, and just like this wolf that looks like a grandmother, eating you, annihilating you, breaking your spirit, making you doubt your reality, making you doubt your own self, weakening your heart, breaking your heart, making you feel like you're not lovable, making you feel like you're not good enough, and sometimes making you feel that nobody else will love you. And as they walk away, they sometimes, and it's you're lucky if they just walk away forever, but sometimes they keep you on their roster, so to speak. Sometimes they keep you in their narcissistic harem, like one of their supplies. And sometimes they're going to be coming back to you for years, still knocking on that door in full confidence. And they're very confident about that. You know, they take care of themselves. They, like, if you see this person like really looking in the mirror, dressing up, creating an image of themselves, sometimes on social media, it's all fake and all fraud. But they are very confident that the whole world, especially the opposite sex, if they're heterosexual, will be captivated by them and their extreme charm. And so they will be pretty sure that you're going to be there waiting for them and coming back just to continue holding you in this emotional hostage and checking in whether you're still there to open up. And many people are susceptible to that, unfortunately. So the way to deal with that, and I'll talk about it in my other video, is no contact. And sometimes it's very difficult because you're still remembering that sugar phase. You're still remembering the love bombing. And it's very difficult sometimes to let go of the narcissist. Sometimes you might even be feeling that you are betraying them. And so this can result in loss of health. It can result in you not really being able to open up to a healthy relationship without healing. So if this is you and you feel like, yeah, I probably was in a relationship with a narcissist, or maybe you are in that relationship right now, please put it in the comments. What is it that resonated with you the most? How important is it to know this? It is extremely important because if you have been a victim of narcissistic abuse, you need to get help. You need to open up to receive from another person, from a loving person, from a person you respect, a person with authority who can reparent you in a certain way. You need to go back to your original trauma as you were growing up when you were a little girl or a little boy, and maybe nobody asked you, how are you feeling? And how are you feeling right now? And maybe you learned not to honor your feelings. And maybe you have learned to disregard your feelings and maybe even please people that you love. Maybe it is a habitual thing for you to earn somebody's love. So in my coaching practice, we call it undeserving mind. Maybe you have that undeserving mind and therefore you feel like you're not enough and you need to put in and give a lot in order to feel loved. So if I asked you, why do you deserve to be loved? And you answer, I deserve to be loved because I'm a loving, giving person. Most likely you have an undeserving mind, and most likely you will continue being attracted to narcissists and you will continue being a narcissistic target because your energy is just so juicy. You have so much to give still, maybe. So it is extremely important, not only important, it's critical, it's imperative to heal that. And how do we heal that? We go back into the layers within your personality. And we look at the very, very first moments in your life when you experience shame or void or absence of love. And as a little child, you didn't know how to deal with that. And as a little child, possibly certain disempowering beliefs came in, or maybe you started hiding your beauty, or maybe you created a belief that the world is a hostile place, or that men or women are not to be trusted, or maybe the belief that you have to give so much and tolerate so much in order to feel love. If you had a trauma of that kind in your childhood, which I have to tell you, most people do, like for example, if you had abusive parents or parents who are negligent or narcissistic, borderline parents or parents who are substance abusers, and possibly your childhood was even stolen and you would turn into a caretaker or somebody who's a peacemaker or somebody who takes a lot of responsibility for other people, that means that you have developed this giving personality that is covering up the pain of the void and depression that is stored somewhere in the very roots of your personality. And when the relationship with the narcissist is over, you are going to be facing that. And it is very important to be facing that without coping strategies. And coping strategies could potentially be overusing substances, food, workaholism. But it's very important to look into that wound cracked open, because this is actually a real possibility for you to address the issue at the root, at the core, to address the issue that, my God, maybe deeply inside of myself, in spite of all the affirmations that I made and maybe all the work that I've done, I still have some lack of love for myself. And I still have some shame, possibly, or fear of boredom, fear of emptiness, fear of the void. And so once we heal those conditions, and I can tell you that we have extremely powerful methods, and it's again for another video. Once we heal those conditions and you start owning and loving different parts of yourself, the healing starts, and then you start to reinvent yourself like a phoenix. New love comes in. And that new love is not just a new person. It's a whole new way of relating, which is based on stability, which is based on both people respecting, truly deeply respecting each other. It is based on truth. It is based on authentic communications, really hearing each other out. It is not based on this bubble of mutual admiration in the beginning. It is based on substance. It is also based on common values and co-creation. The narcissist sometimes will come in future fake those goals, but you will very fast, you will see that those are just words, that the narcissist does not follow up on the promises. That's another very big sign that their words and their actions just are not congruent. So a healthy relationship is a relationship when you can truly be partners, where you can be a team. And I'm here to tell you that it is possible. And I'm here to tell you that I personally was able to help many people. Oh my God, look at this light that just came in. I was able to help many people to shift from being attracted to the narcissist to people who are happily now in wonderful relationships. So if what I talked about resonated with you and you have recognized yourself in this, I invite you to book a 15-minute call with my team to see how we can help you heal and how we can help you to go from hopeless, frustrated, and lonely to having magnetic chemistry, true emotional closeness, and true soulmate love with someone who really deserves it, with someone who is capable of making another person truly happy. And during this 15-minute call, we'll ask you some questions and we'll see what kind of resources we can give you. Maybe you will qualify for a free coaching session with us. Maybe we'll just give you some resources for you to heal, whatever it is. My name is Luba Evans, and my heart goes out to you, beautiful soul. If you are ready to bring in that incredible, extraordinary love into your life, then listen up, because this is something that can change your life forever. Book a 15-minute chat with us. So click on the button below and set a chat with us. It's just a 15-minute chat to see if we can really help you achieve your dreams. I'm sending you so much love. This was Luba Evans, lubaevans.com.